and welcome to another episode of Now Showing. I'm Abhijit Bhatt, your host, and I know it's nothing to boast, but I'm very afraid of a ghost. You see, आज का episode थोड़ा spooky होने वाला है because Kajol is back and this time she's bringing a couple of demons with her. लेकिन काजोल आमिर खान की फिल्म फना है और आप सबका डरना मना है. So दिल थाम के बैठिए देवी और सज्जनों as we take a look at what's coming up on this week's edition of Now Showing. Kajol delivers another powerhouse performance in Ma, but the film forgets to bring the fear. Nicole Kidman is back as the manipulative Marsha in 9 Perfect Strangers Season 2, the perfect binge for your weekend home viewing. Kajol shares her love for mythological stories, being a helicopter mom, and the advice she has for her kids for dealing with public scrutiny and paparazzi. And singer Adnan Sami talks about collaborating with Asha Bhosle after 25 years, meeting R.D. Burman and his love for Punjabi poetry. Alright, now let's start the show with this week's hottest releases and recommendations. In the past few years, Bollywood has done a lot of searching. तलाश, फिराक, खोज. अब भैया जब बॉलीवुड ऑलरेडी इतने सारे सर्चेस करने में लगा हुआ है, भैया आपको दूरबीन लगा के एंटरटेनमेंट की खोजबीन करने की क्या जरूरत? Which is why our entertainment and lifestyle editor Tavishi Paitandy is here to guide you to your weekly dose of dhamakedar entertainment. Over to you, Tavishi.
Thank you, Abhijit. Hello and welcome. This week's big release brings Kajol back to the big screens. If mythology, horror and fantasy got together for a family reunion, Ma would be the slightly chaotic, well-meaning cousin with big dreams, but not quite the execution. Directed by Chori fame Vishal Furia, Ma plants itself in the soil of Bengal, where the legend of goddess Kali and the demon Raktobij unfolds. It's a fascinating premise. One drop of the demon's blood gives birth to a new monster. And this monster has plagued the royal family of Chandrapur for generations. In a chilling tradition, every girl child born in the royal bloodline is sacrificed to goddess Kali to protect the region. That is where Ambika, played by Kajol, steps in. Fierce, grieving, and quietly defiant. For 12 years, Ambika and her husband Shubhankar have kept their daughter Shweta hidden, far from the cursed family palace. But after Shubhankar's sudden death, destiny, or maybe something darker, leads Ambika back to Chandrapur with her daughter in tow. Kajol is the emotional anchor of Ma. She brings grit, grace, and godlike intensity to the role of Ambika. When she channels the Kali avatar, she is totally believable. The protector, the mother, the chosen one. And let's face it, Kajol in full mother mode, well, we are always here for that. But while Kajol delivers, Ronit Roy strangely doesn't. Usually effortless, here he stumbles, especially with his Bengali accent that surprisingly feels more put on than powerful. Ma clearly has its heart in the right place. It takes on patriarchy headfirst. It tries to explore the divine feminine, and it's refreshing to see a mainstream film blend horror with mythology in this way. But where it falters is the storytelling. The CGI, standard fare. Nothing that stays with you. The first half, too loose. The second, a bit muddled. The core battle between good and evil, between the birthing demon and a divine mother, needed a tighter, sharper narrative. What we get instead is a lot of build-up and not enough payoff. And while Ma is technically part of the Shaitan universe, it never quite packs the punch of Shaitan, the R. Madhavan and Ajay Devgan thriller that left a much stronger mark. Ma is ambitious, heartfelt, but well, flawed. Watch it if you want to see Kajol unleash her divine fury. Just do not expect a horror masterpiece. When season 1 of 9 Perfect Strangers dropped, it was like a wellness retreat gone rogue. Glossy, mysterious, and laced with just enough danger to keep us hooked. Nicole Kidman's Marsha, part guru, part ghost, had us questioning everything we knew about healing. And now the show is back with season 2. Bolder, colder, deeper. This time the chaos leaves behind the greenery of California and heads straight into the snow-covered heart of Swiss Alps. And instead of a luxe retreat, welcome to a Tranquilum 2.0. A reimagined alpine asylum with gothic shadows and icy secrets. Yes, Masha is back, slipperier, smarter, and somehow even more dangerous than before. After her psychedelic experiments in season 1, which included drugging guests and triggering breakdowns in the name of wellness, Masha now finds herself in the spotlight. And no, it's not in the way you'd expect. While the feds are circling, others are calling her a revolutionary, a disruptor in psychedelic therapy, gaining celebrity status for her radical healing methods. The show cleverly taps into a real-world debate about consent, mental health, and the business of trauma. As for the cast, absolute fire. Christine Baranski steals every scene as Victoria, a no-nonsense powerhouse arriving with her daughter Imogen, played by Annie Murphy. Imogen planned this retreat to bond, but Victoria shows up with her younger boyfriend. So yeah, bonding might take a backseat. Then there is Murray Bartlett, who you'll remember from The White Lotus and The Last of Us. Here he plays a disgraced children's TV host grappling with a scandal and inner demons, often all while talking to a puppet. And yet, it's hauntingly moving. Dolly De Leon is phenomenal as Agnes, a former nun whose faith is cracking. Henry Golding plays a shy son trying to reconnect with his emotionally unavailable billionaire dad. And musician King Princess surprises in a dramatic role as a once famous piano prodigy who's lost her music. Now, while the ensemble is rich, not every storyline gets the time it deserves. Some characters are barely explored and a few emotional arcs feel rushed. But where season 1 sometimes felt like an aesthetic experiment, season 2 finds more soul, with sharper writing, stronger themes, and a setting that's both chilling and symbolic. Nicole Kidman dials Masha down just enough this time. Less mystical, more manipulative. And that calm exterior makes her power moves land even harder. So should 9 Perfect Strangers season 2 be on your watch list? Absolutely. It's tighter, deeper, and dare I say, better than the first. The cast is a dream, and if you give it time, this slow burn truly delivers. All you need is a little bit of patience.
Thank you so much for those recommendations, Tavishi. And moving on, भाई हमारी लाइफ में अक्सर अलग अलग टाइप के हॉरर्स आते रहते हैं. रिपोर्ट कार्ड के टाइम पे पापा की चप्पल पड़ने का हॉरर, घर पे अचानक से आलू टिंडे की सब्जी बन जाने का हॉरर, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा. Which is probably why horror is the genre that audiences are loving right now. And this week's big theatrical release, Ma, is the latest addition to the lineup of bone-chilling horror films. Up next, we have actor Kajol talking about the mythological stories she loves in this freewheeling chat with my colleague Titash Chaudhary. Kajol also reflects on how her parenting style is different from her mother Tanuja's, and also tells us the one piece of advice she always gives to her daughter Nisa, who has become a favorite of the paparazzi. Check it out.
माँ, और कितना टाइम?
बस थोड़ी देर और मेरी. जब तक तेरी माँ तेरे साथ है, तेरा कोई कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ सकता.
You know, this, I think Ma is your first horror film, is that true?
Pretty much.
So did you never get offered a horror film ever before?
I was, but I think earlier when they used to write horror films, there wasn't really that much of a, there wasn't really that much work done on the script. They would concentrate more on, what it looked like eventually, or, maybe the special effects or whatever. So, yeah, I never really liked any script that much to say that, I would love to do horror or something like that.
What really sold you this time around? Did Ajay sir, being the producer, personally come to you and pitch it to you?
No, he didn't personally pitch it to me, but I'll tell him to do that next time. I think that it started from concept, really. It's one of my favorite stories of Kalima and Rakta Beach. And I was just like, oh my God. And I'm such a believer. And I'm such a follower. I would say Bhakt, I would say. So I've always felt her hand on my head. So I really felt like, oh my God, I have to do this. It didn't start out as a horror. I think we meant to write it as a thriller. But when we got to the script level, we realized that we had to kick it up a notch and put it into the horror genre, because we wanted to do justice to the entire script and the climax and the characters. They just would not have come out if we had not kicked it up that notch.
No, but are you as an audience, do you like watching horror? Have you watched The Conjuring and things like that?
No, I haven't. I don't enjoy horror. I really get scared. I seriously get scared. I'm the one who screams the loudest in the theatre. The door will bang and I'll be yelling.
The last time I met you, this was during Dopati, you put it out saying that, my children do not like watching my films because they don't like seeing me crying or getting angry on screen.
Absolutely.
Has that changed?
Not at all. My daughter categorically told me, she's like, it's a horror film, I'm not watching it. She's like, I don't know whether I'll be able to get through it, and Baba, you know me, Mama, I have to live abroad alone and all that. I can't do all this.
Oh.
I can't add to it. My son, of course, will be watching it and with me. So we have to watch it. We have no choice in the matter. See, we know it's a good film.
Yeah.
You know it's your film.
Right.
So now if you're telling other people to watch it, you will have to watch it yourself as well, right?
100%. But speaking of motherhood, because the title is Ma, of course. Do you remember what was your reaction the first time when you came to know that, the first time when you were pregnant? Was it surprise? You were overwhelmed? What was it like?
Not really. It was more of a, it was so precious that you don't want to talk about it. It was one of those feelings that you feel like, you better touch wood all the time.
Yeah.
And make sure that everything goes well and everything goes perfectly, because it's so precious and it's so, awesome. And you feel a little bit like it's part of, like, the magic of the universe is within you, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But were you more chill when Yug came along, because you already had that experience with Nisa?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's still awesome, it's still amazing, but you are more calm about it.
You're not fretting.
Yeah, you're not upset, you're not worried, you're not, every 2 minutes, you're not calling up the doctor to say, oh, this has happened, what do I do about this? Or, oh God, what do I do about that? Oh God, what do I do about that? So it's, what's going to happen, you know where you're going, you know how the 3rd month, 4th month, 5th month, you know how it's going to go, the progression is going to go. So you're much calmer about it. You have a lot more fun, I feel. And, I worked out a lot throughout both my pregnancies. So I think that in itself gives you a, huge boost.
I was reading one of Tanisha's recent interviews. She said that when she was a child, Tanuja ma'am was, of course, always working. And because of which she didn't really get to spend much time with her. And she said that, I wish she wasn't working. She wasn't a working mom at that time. Did you share same feelings as a child?
I think as a child, maybe I must have felt at some point that I wish my mom was there at some point. But, I had my grandmother, I had my great-grandmother, I had 2 cousins at home. There was so much happening. I love my mom, and I, till today, I love my mom. And yes, I would have loved it if she had been there, but we were really not bored as children. I don't remember sitting down and saying, I wish my mom was home. No, I don't remember that so much. Of course, we missed her. And of course, we, felt that she, we would like to see more of her. And my mom had this amazing ability to be there for us when she was there. So if she was working for the week, the weekends were ours. Our holidays were ours. She never worked for the months of April and May because we had holidays. And we would travel, we would go to Lonavala. And so she gave us, she would keep telling us, she was like, it's not the quantity of the time, it's the quality of the time that you spend with me that will always make the difference. And out of all of that, I know that one thing that I know about my mom is that I really, really respect her for her upbringing.
But as a parent, how much do you think you are like Tanuja ma'am? Or are you very different?
I am a lot like her. I think I am a lot like her. I don't know whether I am as strict as her though. She has very, very clear about her lines and her rules, etc. So I'm less, and I guess it's the world that we live in today as well. So I am much more careful about sending my kids out alone. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't want them to go out alone too much. I mean, like, you know, where are they going? What are they doing? I want to know all the time. My mom was much cooler with me. She was really much cooler
She never
with me.
accompanied you to any set early on in your career also?
No. That was the great thing about her.
Yeah.
That she had so much faith in me as a person.
Right.
That she was like, you know, I've taught you well. I know that you can take care of yourself. And if you have a problem, call me and I'll come. So I was like, yeah, okay. And I was a confident kid. I knew who I was working with, who I wasn't working with. And I was a loud kid. So, I mean, at 16, I had a voice. I had an opinion. I had a very clear black and white view of the world. So I think nobody even thought to take it in that, to, you know, even try anything in that direction, really.
You know, this film is of course releasing on June 27th, and I think a few days after that Karate Kid is releasing.
Yes.
Yes, and your son is, yes.
Okay.
Your son has given his voice the first time, you know,
Yeah,
so to
he
speak,
has.
that he's a part of a film. How excited are you for that, about that?
I'm very excited about the fact that he's taking it seriously. I am. And he really took it seriously. He went for the rehearsals and he went for the thing and was very responsible about it. I think I'm very proud of the fact that he was responsible enough to do it all himself.
This was, I think, a while back. You had said that, you know, I was always so confident in my own skin, you know, even when I was starting out, which was maybe in my late teens. You know, people used to call me dark sometimes. They used to, you know, say that, oh, your hair is not the best kind of hair. But I never bothered about it. You know, today I think this is what, 2025, the scrutiny on young girls especially, I think, is so much more. You know, there are days when Nisa, of course, gets papped, and you've spoken about it. Did you have a chat with her ever as to, you know, how people will say a lot of things, but you should be your own person?
I think I haven't had one chat. I've had multiple chats with her, and I have to keep having them.
Yeah.
With both my kids, for you know, you have to keep telling them and keep reassuring them that this is, you know, one section of it, this is one part of it, and 90% of it is not even real.
Yeah.
So just don't pay attention to that. Who you are is inside, is what is important. What you think is important. You need to make up your own mind about what you want to do with your life or who you are. So you have to keep having these chats and these discussions with them, and you have to make sure that they are given the right amount of importance, which is not too much, not too little either. So it has to be a balance of things.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I
God,
look
my
forward to
pleasure.
watching Ma on the big screen
Thank
and everything else that's lined up after that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adnan Sami is back with a brand new song, and my colleague Vishal Chatkara caught up with him in Mumbai earlier this week and got him talking about his music. He also takes a trip down memory lane and reveals how R.D. Burman tested his talent and talks about his love for the Punjabi language. Check it out.
करीब आओ ना गले लगाओ ना मुझे बताओ ना यूं छुपाओ नजर मिलाओ ना हमें सिखाओ ना अरे चले भी जाओ ना क्यों पास आए गले लगाए जरा बताओ ना लाज़मी है चाहतों में रूठ जाना मनाना रुलाना हंसाना बताना छुपाना मनाना रुलाना हंसाना बताना छुपाना.
I love lovely voice. Thank
Thank you so much.
And sir, you have a new song out titled Aao Na that also marks your reunion with Asha Bhosle after 25 years. How this song was born, sir?
Asha ji and I have enjoyed a relationship right from my childhood, and we've done some beautiful, beautiful work together. The first song that we recorded together was probably around 1991, 92.
But the one we remember is
Kabhi To Nazar Milao. In 2000 it was released in India. Since then we've done a lot of work together. We've done concerts together, we've done film songs together. but we had not done a new single. And it was something that people were constantly wanting us to do a follow-up to Kabhi To Nazar Milao. At this particular age and time, the song also needed to be a little appropriate.
Yes.
Her singing a typical love song in an independent album also didn't sort of, it wasn't quite sitting together. So I took inspiration from the fact that we fight a lot. वो कभी मुझे मेरे साथ नाराज हो जाती हैं, कभी मैं उनके साथ नाराज हो जाता हूँ एक बेटे होने के नाते. तो ये जो गाना है, ये गाना उस रिश्ते से कहीं ना कहीं से निकला है.
Now I have a complaint. You have a gifted voice, and you've been very selective and, be honest, kind of off the Bollywood radar lately. What kept you away first?
It's not a conscious effort in that sense. I mean, I do everything. I've always done everything at my own pace. Number one, I am involved in many aspects of music. I mean, I'm not just a singer. I'm a composer. I'm an Indian classical musician. I'm an instrumentalist, pianist. And then I compose stuff which is sort of fusion related and so on and so forth. So what happens is that when I start concentrating on one particular department, then the other department sort of says, hey, what about me? So मेरे लिए क्या होता है कि for me it is also very important to move into these different directions to keep the freshness alive in me. The moment I feel that, I'm getting a little bored from composing popular music, so let me just switch around. Let me go to Indian classical. Then I feel fresh in that department, and then I come back to this, etc.
You've been singing in other languages. You've been singing songs in Telugu, in Tamil, in Kannada. You've been exploring new cultures from South India. Correct. But why not Bollywood?
When something appropriate and something that is inspiring comes along my way, I always want to do it. I don't just for me, music is more than a business. It is a passion. I need to believe in it in order to do it. So whenever something really nice that inspires me comes along, I do it.
No, you also met the legendary R.D. Burman when you were just 10 years old.
That's right.
You actually played a tune to him and he tested your talent.
Yeah.
Do you remember which tune you played?
No, I mean, there were compositions of mine at that time.
Like at 10 years old?
Yeah, I started composing music at the age of 7. So the thing was, these were instrumental compositions of mine. I played it to him, and it was really funny because he said to me, "ये तुमने बजाया?" मैंने कहा, "हाँ जी, मैंने बजाया." अगर तुमने बजाया तो बहुत अच्छा बजाया. There was this agar which brought in a certain kind of a skepticism. Then what he did was he went to the next door room and he brought out a portable keyboard. He said, "बजा के दिखाओ." And I played it. He said,
remember which tune?
It was a tune that I had composed, So, I mean, he said, "Haan, tumhi ne bajaya." So that's when he was convinced that I played it, Kabhi to nazar milao, kabhi to kareeb aao, kabhi to nazar milao, kabhi to kareeb आओ, जो नहीं कहा है कभी तो समझ भी जाओ, हम भी तो हैं तुम्हारे दीवाने हो दीवाने.
You're also fluent in Punjabi. How has Punjabi language influenced your musical journey?
Oh, I mean, I can abuse really well in Punjabi. Punjabi's got the best abuses ever, and the most creative ones ever. So, I mean, if you want to improve your dictionary on how to sort of give it to someone, Punjabi is the best language. But having said that, mazak apni jagah, Punjabi is also one of the sweetest languages. When you see some of the poetry that comes out of Punjab, some of the most beautiful poetry in Punjabi is just very, very sweet. So I'm very fond of it.
Bulle Shah?
I was just, Bulle Shah is beautiful. I mean, there's some great, even Punjabi songs from, from the popular genre. I mean, from Noor Jahan, for example. Like Jadon Holi Jai Lena Mera Naam, Kende ne nain, Sanu Nair wale pul te bula ke. Even, for example, Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab, I mean, one of his songs, I mean, people know him for a lot of the popular ghazals, but one of my favorites is Mere Shauq Da Nahi. Mere Shauq Da Nahi, Etbar Tenu. Amazing. I find that, and the way he sung it is just gorgeous.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out and talking to me.
My pleasure.
And jate jate, would you please like to give us few lines of Tera Chehra?
ये ज़मीं रुक जाए, आसमां झुक जाए, तेरा चेहरा जब नजर आए, ओ तेरा चेहरा जब नजर आए.
With that, we have come to the end of this week's edition of Now Showing. I guess it should be now called Jao Showing क्योंकि मेरे जाने का time आ गया है. Fine, I'm leaving. On that bad joke, this is me Abhijit Bhatt signing off. But we'll see you again next week with more reviews and interviews. Until then, goodbye and good luck at the movies. Stay filmy, stay fabulous.